It's time for Living Your Purpose, a motivational and inspirational podcast with Peter and Joyce Nielsen.
Hey everybody, welcome to Living Your Purpose. I'm Peter Nielsen. I'm here with my lovely wife Joyce, and we're excited to be here. You know, over the last few weeks, we've just started to do more of this video on YouTube, and we enjoy people watching. If you like what you're watching, just subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also find us on Spotify, on iTunes, SoundCloud, Blog Talk Radio, anywhere that you listen to your podcast. We've been blessed that you'll be able to find us. You know, as the season's changing and it's getting colder, people are finding it more and more difficult to exercise, especially with the holidays coming here. So one of the biggest areas that people have problems with that I wanted to go over with today is your lower extremities, some of your biggest muscles, which are your legs. And most women are interested in truly getting their glutes, their hamstrings, their butt, their quadriceps, their calves in shape. But men, I'll tell you right now, show me a man that doesn't exercise their legs. I'll show you a person that will lose their full potential in upper body growth when it comes to your physique, because your lower extremities are going to release the most amount of natural growth hormone, which is going to enhance your natural growth. When you limit half of your body is truly not in quadraphonic. It's kind of working in piecemeal. So it's much better to make sure when you're working out, you don't forget to do your legs. Do you enjoy working your legs out, or is it a painful thing?
It depends on the day.
It sure does. There's days that I'm sure that Joyce would rather have root canal than to do squats or to do different things. But that's what I want to go over, because one person's treasure is another person's rubbish on how to condition yourself. You can be the CEO of your own body. And, you know, Joyce, how tall are you? What are you, 5'4"?
5'4".
5'4". And some women that are, say, shorter than 5'4", if they do bulky exercises like heavy squats or different things, they're going to actually give an illusion of being stocky or blocky or even perceived to be shorter. Where if you do certain exercises that will elongate you, and I'll talk about it while we're having this podcast today, but not every exercise is for everyone. Some people have sciatic nerve and you don't want to do certain things like walking lunges. Other people have back problems or knee problems, and doing leg extensions may bother you. So I just want to go through like a 101 on exercises that are best for your strength, best for toning, conditioning, speed, power. And there's so many great exercises that you can do. I got to give you a quick little background story on why doing legs became so important to me. When I was 16 years old and I started working out, I remember I was just like idolizing Lou Ferrigno, and R&J Health Studio was on Avenue U by Nostrand Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. So it was like downtown Brooklyn. And that's where Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk at the time, worked out. A few Mr. Americas came out of there. So I remember taking the train and the bus to go visit this guy, Dr. Julie Levine, who was a chiropractor by trade and owned this gym and was a manager of Lou Ferrigno and stuff. So I remember going in there and I was like, I just was like, doctor, I called him Julie Levine, Dr. Levine, this is my dream. This is what I'm doing. So he looks at me and he says, hit a couple of poses. I hit some poses. He goes, you got good biceps. He says, and your abs are great. He says, but your body is standing on toothpicks. Those were his words. He was like, they're standing on toothpicks. He says, do some squats, do some working out with your legs, then come back and we'll talk. I was so discouraged. I had to take a bus first and then get on a train. And all the way home, I was so deflated. This is terrible and he sucks and this and that. And then finally, for people that know me, if someone says the truth, I may not be what I want to hear, but then I kind of sleep on it. And then I realized, man, my legs look like toothpicks.
It's hard to imagine now.
Right. And my legs are literally one of the best body parts that I have for competing. But I went back and for a solid year, I went crazy on doing squats and deadlifts and leg extensions and hack squats and all this stuff still in my grandmother's apartment building. And I was working out by the garbage pails and people were hanging clothes. True story. That's how I started. Well, I went back to Julie Levine and he looks at me and he says, you've been doing some work on your legs. And he ended up signing me. And what that meant in those days was he was going to give me a bunch of supplements like multivitamins and protein powders and different things. He was going to pay for my membership, and then he was going to sponsor me for travel and expenses for a bodybuilding show. I felt like I died and went to heaven because this was my dream. And then I started to train with Lou Ferrigno back in the day and Steve Mihalik, who was the current Mr. America. They all worked out, at this place in the Midwest. And all I can say is that doing legs was one of the most important turning points of my professional bodybuilding career. So if you're not a bodybuilder, if you're a senior, you want strong legs so you don't slip and fall, especially during the winter months. You want to make sure that you have secondary muscles that are going to keep you standing. You also want to make sure that when you're doing legs, you do the right exercises, like I said, so that you're the sculptor, you're defining your body the way you want to. So what I first like to do is, there's so many people that email us, especially women, Peter, how do I get a toned butt? How do I take some of the junk out of the trunk? So much has to do with eating. But what I want to focus on today is the exercises. And one of the best overall exercises for growth and strength, even secondary muscles, is a squat. And whether it's on a Smith machine, whether it's doing a plie squat with no weights, just your own body weight, whether it's doing squats with dumbbells or barbells, you're familiar with doing all of those, and you have an amazing physique. And for the last year, your emphasis was on squatting and doing certain exercises like that. And if I could say, you built an amazing pair of glutes. You've always had great glutes, but when you truly focus on an area and you're looking to condition that area, define that area, you can really make it so that it's a good thing. Do you enjoy doing squats?
No. I actually injured myself doing squats and I couldn't work out for like 3 months too.
That was because of the bar. She was on a Smith machine, and if you know the pad, sometimes there's space on there. So she was doing 160 pounds for reps, and the bar hit her cervical area, and it caused an impingement on one of your nerves.
Yeah, it was very painful, and I had to get a cortisone shot, and I still don't feel completely healed, but so I ended up having to do different variations because the squats, after the third time of me injuring myself, we figured that the squats are not good for me.
Right.
So then we started doing different things like plies, walking lunges.
Yeah. And you don't even need to do it with weight.
Correct.
I mean, you've been doing it.
I built myself back up without using any weights and then added the weight to it after to avoid re-injuring.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to put words in your mouth, and I don't want to tell them everything. But you did say you were a little sore and you weren't using weight the other day, which means you're getting back into shape and you don't need weight to truly feel good effects of the workout.
Correct. Yeah. Just doing the plies in the higher numbers, like he'd have me do 3 sets of 15 at different angles, or the walking lunges even without weights, and combining that and supersetting it. I was really feeling it for the next couple of days after. So weights definitely aren't necessary. You don't need a gym membership. You can do it anywhere.
Exactly.
And you could do it safely.
You could do it safely in a big way. And I just admire her persistence and being consistent on working out. And, you know, I've said this multiple times, but my whole life, I've never had a partner that I was dating or anything, no less being married to, that we have such commonalities. And it's wonderful when you work out. She may have different goals, you know, on maybe wanting to tone and sculpt a certain area, but we work out together and we really push each other. And even when I'm, you know, when maybe I'm a little under the weather or busy, and she's pushing me and vice versa. So thank you. And it's wonderful to have a training partner. It just, competition breeds success. And really any area of your life, as long as it's being directed from a source of love. And I love when she pushes me. There's a lot of yes people in my life, and I want people to tell me what I could do better and what I'm doing wrong. And she does a good job at that, and I appreciate it. I really do. So if squats are something that you can't do, so let me just kind of do a quick summary of that squat. A squat is when you're taking weight, whether you're holding on to it, it's behind your neck, in front of you, without weight, and you're squatting down so that your shoulders are back, your chest is out, you're blowing out on exertion on the way up, and you're working all your leg, your glutes, your hamstrings, the back of your leg, front of your leg, your quads, even your calf, core strength. You're working all of these secondary muscles. So it's a great exercise, and you can do it without weights by just putting your hands on the side, going up and down. If you do have knee problems, you can even do a wall squat. So you're using a fit ball, whether it's anywhere from 45 to 75 centimeters in circumference. And what that's doing is it's going into the lumbar area of your spine. You're about 2.5 feet away from the wall. The ball is against the wall. You're leaning against the ball. You're coming down 3/4 to a half range of motion. Range of motion is the start to the end of that movement. So a full squat is when you're coming down and then your knee is parallel with the floor. So that would be a full squat. If you have knee problems or back problems, even if you're at a 45 degree angle with your thigh to the floor, you're still going to be benefiting. But what you want to make sure is you work around that weakness, or you work around that injury. So a squat is an overall great exercise, but if you're under 5'4" or under, if you already have, say, a medium to thick bone, if you're looking to trim and have more of a dancer's physique, then squatting heavy would not be the way to go. Squatting, as Joyce said, with no weight, doing 15 to 20 repetitions for 3 sets, resting 60 seconds between each set would be the way to go. Now, if you're looking to really elongate and have more of a swimmer's physique, a dancer's physique, then walking lunges, even without weight, is wonderful. And basically what you're doing is you're lunging forward with one leg, never taking that knee to go past your toe so you don't injure the joint. shoulders are back, chest is out, you're blowing out on exertion, and then you're doing the other side leg. And you'd be doing, say, 15 repetitions of that, resting for, say, 30 to 60 seconds, then doing another set. You particularly like walking lunges, am I correct in saying that? I mean, you've even done them around the pool.
They're not bad. I definitely prefer to do them around the pool.
Right, in a bikini. She just loves warm weather and outside. It's just so distracting.
And as much as I don't like them, once I start seeing the results, I like them just a little bit more.
Yeah, because I mean, we're visual creatures. We're visual humans. And
Yeah.
I think that it's beautiful. God made it so that you have your hamstring that's tied into your glute, your butt, and you can see it when someone is even doing, say, bending over, or someone's in a pair of shorts, man or woman. You can see the separation between the back of the leg and your glute, your butt, and it's just appealing to the naked eye, because that's the way God made it. It flows, and then it does. I mean, as you know, as an exercise physiologist and just looking at the way God made muscles, it just beautifully ties in from the back of the leg to the glute, from the glute to the lower lumbar. It's all tied in together. So a lot of times if you have, back problems, lower back problems, then your hip may be very tight, or you may get sciatic nerve syndrome like I get every once in a while. So it's important to really design a program that's best for you. But the walking lunges are going to do the opposite of what squats do. Squats will possibly thicken if it's too heavy, where walking lunges, light, higher repetitions, is going to elongate the muscles. It's going to take someone that's 5'4", they're going to look like they're 5'9". It's going to take someone that maybe look like a fire hydrant, where they were bulky, and to where it's elongated, where it's more of a pleasant look that they're looking to get. So that's the beauty of exercising, when you know certain exercises are going to not only help you strengthen areas, but tone and symmetrically, rather design your body more symmetrically so it's more pleasing to the eye, if that makes sense. And the walking lunges are great. Another great exercise for the glute is getting on all fours and doing leg kicks, and then doing fire hydrants with, say, and we did that on television, and we'll even post this. We'll post that with that. It's actually on YouTube as well. I think it is, and it's the exercise program we just did like a week ago on legs.
What's a fire hydrant?
Great question. A fire hydrant, and I'm saying it sarcastically, is when you're on all fours and you're going sideways like a dog picks up its leg. Dush, 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 dush. That's probably like hardcore gym talk, but it would be more of a lateral raise with your leg. But when you're on all fours and you're coming back and you're raising your leg up and you're squeezing the glute, you don't need more than, say, 2 to 4 pounds. But it's putting resistance on that. We've even done it where I've done manual resistance, where I'm pushing it with the leg and stuff. But that focuses just on an area of the lower glute where the hamstring ties into the glute. And that's where, whether you're in shorts or whether you're in a bathing suit, where you're going to see it the most. So it's a great exercise to visually make yourself more symmetrical. Another great exercise for the front part of the leg, the quadricep, where there's 4 muscles, and that teardrop, which a lot of people like, which is on that inner part of your knee. It actually helps hold your kneecap, your knee together. And it's a leg extension where you're sitting back and you're raising your legs with your toes pointed up, hesitating for a second, you want to do, say, 3 sets. If you're looking to build 10 repetitions, the last 3, the 8th, 9th, and 10th, should be somewhat difficult, but never sacrificing style for the amount of weight. If you're looking to tone, you want to go 15 to 20 repetitions. Now, if you want to take it to the next level, like Joyce does and I do, then you do a superset or a tri-set. And a superset is when you combine 2 exercises back to back with little to no rest. And you love those, right?
Yeah. I like to get my whole workout done in a half hour
Right.
or less. So
And we do
I'm
it.
like superset, tricep.
Right, and we do it. Yeah, and we
let's
waste
get through
no
this.
time. So she may do a good example. She may do leg extensions, plies with on all 4 leg kickbacks. And now she's doing 3 exercises, working 3 different parts of the leg, all in one movement. So she's going back to back to back, then resting 60 seconds, and say doing 3 trisets or giant sets. If it was just 2 exercises, it would be called a superset. So, I mean, and I hope I explained it well. The thing that I think, the reason why I think I've had such staying power in working out is that I don't anymore work out crazy heavy. I could work out strong and do, say, a 400-pound incline chest press, but I'll only work with maybe 200 pounds, 225 pounds, and incorporate it in a super or a triset where I'm doing it with flies, doing it with push-ups, and now all of a sudden it's pre-exhausting the muscle. So my muscle may think that I'm working out with heavier weight, but I'm not. I'm getting the job done. And a lot of times when I'm working out with less weight, more intense, I'm more sore the next day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, what are some of your favorite leg workouts? Because you have amazing physique.
Thank you. I mean, pretty much kind of what you've already mentioned. Well,
You like boxes too.
Oh yeah. What are those called again? Where you're jumping
Plyometrics.
Plyometrics. And we did a video on that. It's on his website on, what is it, on Peter's Principles, I think.
Yep.
But we do a set of the box jumps.
Yeah.
And
So what you do, and there's many ways to do it, and we showed you both ways, is Joyce would be standing on the side of, say, an 18-inch box. That's what I would start with. You can start with a 12-inch, but medium is 18, and you could go 24 2-foot box. Then you could go higher. But what she's doing is she's basically starting up on the box, coming down, keeping that leg on there, bending, say, that right thigh, and then coming back up, and then doing that 15 times, then doing the other side. It's intense. You're getting a huge pump. It's burning. Another way to do it is standing on the side and then bilaterally jumping completely over the box, not even touching it. So you're basically lifting up, plyometric burst, a power of energy, speed and power, and then I'm coming to the other side without resting, just again bouncing up over the box, and you do that 15 times. Not only are you sucking wind, but it's called your fast twitch and your slow twitch muscles. Plyometrics is the main primary exercise that hockey players, basketball players use because they need explosive power to get off of the line, to get off of the mark where the puck goes down. Basketball players are constantly getting it and then running across, the field there, the court. So plyometrics can be applied to women and men that want to really define and tone their lower extremities, their IT band. The side of your leg can be very defined where it separates your quadricep, the front, to your back, your hamstrings. And you'll see like a line, you have it, I have it, and we worked for it. But it's a beautiful thing, as well as it tightens your glutes. And think about it, when you're going up and down with this explosive power called plyometrics, you're also bouncing on your calf muscle. So you're working your calf muscle, your hamstring, your core, your abdominal wall, your back, your hips, your glutes,
and you're getting cardio and perfecting your balance all at the same time. So anything that you're getting multi benefits from, I enjoy.
Agreed. And I think, what I would even do is I would love to challenge each and every one of you is to post a video of you or you and your family doing some of these exercises when it comes to lower extremities. Another great exercise, believe it or not, that's on the same thing as explosive is jumping rope. You're like, Peter, see, but anything that's weight bearing is anaerobic, so you can have a hybrid where jumping rope is burning 712 calories an hour, 12 calories per minute. You can't buy that. But it's also, when you're jumping up and down, it's working your calves, your glutes, your hamstrings, your quadriceps, your butt, your core. So regardless of how weak you are, regardless if you're recovering from an injury, regardless if you're working around some pain, there can be exercises biomechanically that will work best for you. And then there's other times you just need to rest. A lot of people, they don't give their body a chance to heal, especially athletes like myself sometimes. I'm the worst kind of patient where I want to get back into it, or I'm going to put this mentally beneath me, and I end up almost killing myself with pain, because when an athlete knows how good he or she can feel, they want to feel that way. So when they don't feel that way, they just become a bad patient. They want to get fixed and better yesterday. But sometimes things take time to heal, whether it's a nerve, whether it's a bone, whether it's a deep bruise or sprain. Just allow that time for you to be healed. A lot of times I've gotten sick in my life with a flu or something. It was because God was trying to, I believe, he didn't cause the flu, but he sure allowed something to happen so that it would give me a moment on my back to rest and get my cup filled up. Because sometimes we go and go and go and go and go, and we don't allow ourselves to recover mentally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. So these are just some exercises that, I wanted to bring to your attention. Another one is if you did like a good morning exercise, or a modified deadlift, which would be basically knees slightly bent, lightweight. You could use dumbbells or barbells. It's working your lumbar, but you get an amazing stretch with your glutes, your butt, and your hamstrings, but do it very slow, meticulous range of motion, so that you're not doing too heavy weight, you're not jarring, you're not hyperextending the back. These are all different exercises that you can do. Even getting on a stepper like we have in the home. The reason why I like a stepper for cardio is, yes, you're burning a lot of calories. Yes, it's increasing your blood pressure and your heart rate very quickly. So if you're on a beta blocker, you need to really be careful with that and work with a cardiologist, because it gets it up quick. But what I like about the stepper is it's also anaerobic, where it's working your butt. So not only are you burning calories and fat, but you're also tightening, firming, toning, strengthening your glutes and your hamstrings. So there's no better, in my opinion, if I'm going to be putting in the sweat equity to burn calories, and at the same time I could still tone my legs as well as my glutes. I mean, even a treadmill, it's weight bearing, and it's still going to tone your glutes and your hamstrings.
Sure. And if you don't have the equipment, as simple as jogging, or even using your stairs.
Exactly, using your stairs.
Going up a hill in the neighborhood park, or whatever. So.
Yes, I mean, getting creative, it's so important. But I wanted to just give you some news you could use immediately. And even on the plies. Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Speaking of news you can use,
Yeah.
if you need something extra to get you motivated,
Yep.
There's a new pre-workout drink coming out in
Yes.
December through one of my hubby's companies, Zervita, that is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And that gives you an extra pump and some energy to really
Yeah.
pick up your workout routine game.
What I would like to do, possibly even next week, is talk about pre-workout, talk about the importance of just, getting you cranked up. But yeah, I'm very proud, and this woman has been such a huge, wonderful partner and influence in my life. In doing it together, she was the first guinea pig. After I had the luxury of actually going in and picking the best ingredients from all the ones that are on the market, and then kind of going to a great manufacturing formulating company, and they put this together. It was just amazing. I mean, it was like rocket fuel. And then to be able then to get it as a partner, where people that are in Zervita Nation, which is a company that I'm a part of for the last 11 years, is wonderful. So we pre-launched it to give people an opportunity. Some of the leaders, did they love it? I mean, everybody was, and we appreciate Zervita Nation. Everybody was putting a selfie with it. So we're looking to launch that to the world through what we're doing come December. So very excited about it, and I want to thank you personally for all your patience and your input. You've helped me just immensely.
Thank you.
Really have. So again, just to put a bow around this, these are just exercises, talking about news you could use, things you could do immediately today. You don't need expensive, bulky equipment. You don't need a membership to a club. You need to just get creative, and you don't need to spend an hour and a half in the gym. You could spend 20 minutes and kick some serious booty, no pun intended, and really tone your lower extremities as well as your upper extremities. So, if you do have a question, how can they reach us? Because you may have questions on different exercises that we didn't talk about. There's leg press and there's hack machines. All of these are great, but they're working different parts of the body. Like the leg press is working the hamstrings and your glutes. Your hack machine is working the flare of your outer quadricep. So the beautiful thing is, as I said, knowledge is power. You be the sculptor. You put together, and I can help you put together a workout program on the physique that you've always wanted. Obviously, genetics plays a big part of it. A person that is, 5'4" can't be 6'3". I get that. But at the same time, we can really customize a workout that's best for you, for your height, for your bone type, for the goals that you're looking for, whether it's getting stronger, more muscle, to get ripped or toned, to look better in a dress, whatever the case is. But don't forget to do your legs. It's a wonderful feeling when you have not only tone legs that look good in clothes or in a bathing suit, but it's even better when they're carrying you from one place to another, and they're strong and they're secure, where they're going to truly get you through certain storms, whether it's the weather or whether you do get an injury. If you have strong legs, people are going to just get through it a lot quicker, And what would, for people that don't like to do legs, and for women out there that want that tight booty and want, good hamstrings and look good in shorts or whatever, what would be your, better than anybody, because there's a lot of times you don't want to work out, but you like the benefits of it.
Correct.
So what would you tell, half of our audience out there that don't want to work out?
Yeah, it's not if you want to do it, you just kind of have to force yourself to do it. And if there's a certain time of the day, for example, I'm a morning person.
Yep.
So I like to get the hardest part of my day done with the earlier the better. If 3 o'clock comes and goes and we still haven't worked out,
she's not going to work out.
I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? So pick a time of the day, and you just gotta, you just have to power through it, whether you want to do it or you don't.
Through it.
And if you start to see the results, that gives you more motivation. And you were just mentioning about customizing workout plans, macronutrient plans. If you're interested in that, you can go to peternielsen.com, and that's where you can register, and we will reach out to you and set that up for you. If you just have a question in general, peter@peternielsen.com. You can find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all that good stuff. And YouTube, obviously. Hopefully you're watching us.
Yeah, we're totally excited. Doing television for a few decades, I never really posted anything on YouTube. I never used that as a vehicle. And then really starting the podcast, I've been doing radio forever, and radio is radio. But then you look at some of the really good podcasts, and they have them where you can see them. And, having a beautiful wife like Joyce, she's much better visually than behind video. So I thought it was a great idea. And I think that people are even relating to watching it even more so. And for people that are listening right now on Spotify or SoundCloud or Blog Talk Radio or iTunes, kudos. But sometimes people like to visually watch what they're listening to, and they could absorb it more. So thank you for all of you that are starting to tune in. And if you do like this, hit that subscribe button below. So until next week, Joyce and I think our main reason that we're doing this is truly for you to get yourself off of the sidelines, get back in the game, and to truly live with purpose. And for people, so many, and the reason why we're doing this is what we hear. So many people don't know what their purpose is. So many people get lost and get stuck. And it's hard for them to get unstuck. And change is a difficult thing, but I think that if you search on what you love, if you search for your passion, and you become passionate about something, your purpose will collide with that, because that's just how it works. That's how God connected the dots. When you love something, whether it's cooking or whether it's working out or whether it's coaching or whether it's speaking another language, you become so darn good at it, people start sorting you out. And you realize that that's possibly one of your gifts. And that's when you're in your sweet spot where you're living with and on purpose. Because that's how God made us. He made us purposeful, to live a purposeful life and for a purpose. So that's what our hope is, and that's what our desire is in doing even this show. So we hope to hear from you. Even if you want to upload a video of you doing some of your leg exercises, we'd love to hear from you. And if you do want an exercise program, just go to peternielsen.com. I have many different plans, a platinum plan or just a monthly simple plan to subscribe that will give you just daily information that hopefully will get you unstuck. Everybody have a great night, and until next week, God bless. Hi, I'm Peter Nielsen. I am super excited to talk about the future of skincare with our new product line called Exo Skin Simple. It has everything to do with exosomes. Exosomes are excreted from cells. They carry proteins and messenger RNA to neighboring cells to influence their biological function. They help increase collagen production as well as reduce inflammation responses. They also help in the healing process while improving skin hydration. Welcome to the next generation of skincare. Join me. For more information on Exoceuticals, just scan the QR code or click the link below. The future of beauty is here.